Why is the box always on your face?
Because it likes my face.
I like your face too, but what about my face?
I don't know. It likes my face.
I like your face. Okay, move your face out of the picture.
No.
So we're live streaming tonight with the Nikon Z6 and the FTZ adapter and the 14 to 24 f2.8 at about 20 millimeters. And as usual with any camera, be it a Nikon or be it a Canon, the box is always on Heather's face. So if we're ever doing like a vlog or something, and like I'm closest to the camera and talking to it, but Heather's way over there, whatever camera, it doesn't matter what brand, it's always going to pick Heather's face.
It likes my face.
I like your face too, but sometimes my face should be the one. Can you move out of the picture for just a minute?
No.
Please?
No.
Okay, she will not move out of the picture for just a minute. Hey, there is Hassan, who is watching us fight over who has the square on her face. Hello, Hassan. Hello, with lots of exclamation points. The camera knows what's up. That is true. That is absolutely the fact. Well, we didn't know we were going to be live today. When did we decide?
Like when we got home.
And how long ago was that?
Like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah. We had no idea we were going live. Heather's been working. I think I've done how many videos in a row that you haven't made pictures?
Like a lot.
Watch, everybody will unsubscribe now. But Heather's been busy with stuff, and then Sunday we went to Knoxville, and Heather's not really huge on street photography. So, you know, that's how it goes sometimes.
Heather's not huge on people most of the time.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, we've also got a lot of videos coming. I tell you, if you folks like bird photography, we've got your back.
Oh, yes. Heather likes birds.
There are a lot of birds. Hello, Dwayne. Yeah, we got a lot of bird photography coming up. And I think the fountain video was the most recent one that came out. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Christopher. Face is looking slimmer. I haven't done anything. I think it's the black shirt is slenderizing or something. Because I'm still just as tubby as ever. Thank you, though. I'm happy for the. Maybe it's the, I don't know. Maybe it's the ultra wide lens or something. Because we're shooting at 20 millimeters. Oh, hello, cat.
She desperately wants in here.
You want in, Mr. Cat? You can come in.
Maybe.
Oh, now you don't want in? Okay. Maybe I'll leave it like that. You can come in, cat. Our cat is very strange.
Yep.
She doesn't know if she wants to be inside or wants to be outside. So I made 2 videos today. It's been a good day. I got out with my new toy, and there's a video coming up about it, but I'll just go ahead and show it to you. Maybe if I put this right in front of the camera, it'll quit focusing on you for a minute. Is it in focus?
No, not yet.
Is it still focusing on you?
It likes our faces.
Oh crap, is the battery about dead?
I don't know, my dude.
Oh no, it's not.
No.
Anyway, this is a JBL Flip 5 Bluetooth speaker. I don't think it ever did get in focus.
I never got in focus.
Because there's a box on your face. Go away. Focus, camera. Anyway, it's a JBL Flip 5. It's about the size of a tall boy. You got a regular beer and a tall boy. It's about the size of a tall boy. And it is pretty loud. And I've been using it to summon birds. Hello, Walt B. from Mississippi. I've been using it to call birds in, which the video where I first talk about this speaker, I also talk a little bit about the ethics of using audio to call in birds. So that'll be something to look forward to. I found an article written by a lady in South Carolina on the South Carolina Audubon Society webpage, and it's a good reference. But you know, in small doses, using a speaker and some bird calls to call in songbirds that you want to make a photograph of works pretty doggone good. Let me just tell you. Oh, hello, cat. Let me see you. Oh, neat. The cat is like, I do not want to be on the live stream.
She is on the live stream.
Here's the cat. There's the kitty on the live stream. She's very cute. Well, okay.
Oh, she's done.
She said, I've had enough of the live stream. All right, I'm putting you down.
Look.
We're watching the video loud. That's awesome. We got good kitty. Our kitty is good. But anyway, so I've got some stuff coming up with this. I've already made 2 videos with it. Plus, oh man, I am back in the groove. I was kind of getting in a rut and was for a little bit there, I was having to maybe like a couple of weeks I cut out the Monday video, but that is not a problem anymore. We are rocking. Let me see how many videos I've got in the can right now, because we're doing 3 a week, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 already completely done, and 2 more shot that I have to put together. And that's why I said, you know what, instead of working on putting together videos tonight, why not just go live for a little while and say hello to everybody and how much we appreciate everybody. You know, there's been a lot of Canon content lately, and there's been a lot of unsubscribers because of that. And you know, that I thought that might be the case. I thought that, you know, if I tried a different brand, although when I tried Fuji, I don't think I got any unsubscribes. But you know, Canon's a much bigger competitor to Nikon. So we had a lot of unsubscribes. Had one person tell me to go to HE double hockey sticks. Had another person tell me that I was full of it. So those of you who are still here and still watching, very much appreciated. You know, I do love Nikon, but I'm also experimenting with other stuff. Hey, there's Mike Mitchum, and what is Dwayne saying?
Dwayne, oh, he is shooting a band, and he was asking for recommendations. I want to shoot with a C50 with a 35 1.8 or a Lumix GH3 with a 20 f1.7.
I would say either one of those is great, because the number one thing when you're shooting a band is usually a wide aperture. Mm-hmm. Try to get as much shutter speed as you can, especially if the band moves around a lot. Sacrifice a noisy image for a sharp image. In other words, do a lot of shutter speed with a lot of ISO instead of almost no shutter speed with almost no ISO. Oh, thumbs up button. Good idea, Ray. Everybody hit thumbs up. Have you hit thumbs up, Heather?
Not yet.
Oh, jeez. Heather hadn't even hit thumbs up. That's okay, though. What do you suggest, Ray, besides a lot of shutter speed and a wide aperture for live music? Ray's a talented live music photographer. He might have some more suggestions for us. Not worth the time to even think about it. Thank you, Hassan. That's very kind. What was he asking if you had bought?
If I'd got that 10 to 20.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I had a viewer comment asking what the problem was with the Tamron lens, and I haven't responded yet. And he said he had the 10 to 20, and he said it was really low quality. But I've seen
Casey.
Hi Casey, there's my daughter. Hello. How do I make a heart on this keyboard?
Less than 3 or greater.
Hi
than
Casey,
3.
how you doing? Me and Casey and Heather went to Knoxville last Sunday. Casey just turned 18. She's got a boyfriend. Don't get any ideas. Hey Cuban Rum, what's going on? And we went up there to see her dorm. I know we've been up there to see her dorm 3 or 4 times, but this time we saw the one that she's actually going to move into in August. So that was a lot of fun Sunday. Heather didn't even hate it.
It's pretty.
Well, I mean, Heather, because Heather...
Tom
Jaton! Hadn't seen you in a few hours. What's happening? Next thing you know, Robin will log in from London. The whole family will be here. But we had a good time today hanging out over at Tom's house, making garden photos and seeing bluebirds and talking about family stuff in Disney World. So that's pretty cool.
I like Hassan's analogy. Brand wars are like measuring who has the biggest chocolate cake at a fat kid factory.
We're all fat kids in the end.
And it's all chocolate cake.
Yeah, chocolate cake is good. One day do you think I should say why I actually got scared and tried Canon?
I mean, you should.
I might as well now.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to retire, hopefully, in about 7.5 years. 30 days till Disney World, Casey says.
Disney World.
30 days till Disney World. That is right. And we're going to make some videos from Walt Disney World. But anyway, I'm probably going to retire in 7.5 years or so if all goes well. And... you know, Nikon's kind of in trouble, and I hope that they survive it. And I think that they probably will survive it, but there's a chance that they might not. And on that chance, I said, man, I might have to diversify my lens investments, because I figure I need lots and lots of expensive lenses paid for and in the cabinet before I retire. And once I retire, you know, your camera lenses should last forever and ever and ever, or you know, a long time, unless they change the mount, which has thrown everybody a curveball. But your camera body, especially if you shoot as much as I do, after about 2 years, they're getting kind of worn out. And you know, I was worried that Nikon might fold. Now they probably won't, but I bet Canon is less likely to fold. So that's that. I mean, it wasn't that I didn't like Nikon. I do. I mean, I still do. But I was afraid to just continue investing in Nikon when there's a possibility that they might not be around. I hope they're still around. They'll probably still be around. But I felt like I needed to invest in another brand just in case Nikon wasn't still around. Because if they went out of business when I retired and was on a fixed income, I cannot or would not be able to switch brands. You know, I'd just be stuck with thousands and thousands of dollars worth of lenses that go to a company that doesn't make cameras anymore. So that's why I try, you know, and I here's another thing. Nothing wrong with Sony. Sony makes great stuff, but I don't trust Sony to stay in the camera business. I think they'll still be in business, but I don't trust them to stay in the camera business.
They'll be in the PlayStation business.
Yeah, or the TV business, or who knows, the Walkman business. They still make those. You know, who knows what they'll be making in 10 years and 15 years when I still need the company I'm investing in now to be making cameras. But I bet you Canon will. And that's why I did what I did. It's not that I thought Canon was a better camera, although I did want to try the new autofocus system that Canon has. It's just I need a really stable brand for the future, and I think Canon is possibly a better choice. So that's why I did what I did. And what else? What have you been doing? Just being awesome?
Mm-hmm.
Heather is working overtime. She works for a place that does online education.
Mm-hmm.
And so she kind of makes the courses and maintains the courses. But usually the company she works for has teachers, am I saying this right,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of run the courses. But Heather has a teaching degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she's also been teaching some of the courses. So before I said, "Hey, let's go live," she was grading classes. She was grading.
Yeah,
She was grading
grading
people's
papers.
work. Sorry, I took you away from your job there.
It's okay. I can grade afterward.
It's okay.
It's okay.
That's what Heather says. She doesn't say that's okay. She said that's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. My kids can get their biology grades later.
Awesome. All right. What is everybody saying?
Pentax is the Betty White of the camera world. That is the truth.
Florida Panos. Yeah, you know, and we're not, the place we're staying at is not nearly as conducive to a panorama as the places that we stayed last year. We're staying at a,
Find a place to do a
oh yeah, I'll figure out a
panorama.
pano. We're staying at a place called Saratoga Springs. And what's really cool is I'm going and Heather's going and my daughter's going. And we're going in 30 days, according to my daughter. And all three of my older sisters are going. And it was going to be just one of my nieces, but I'm hearing now that two of my nieces and what would
Your great nephew, Jackson?
great nephew. My great nephew is also going. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see what else they wrote. I don't think Nikon is going anywhere. Yeah. Well, Steve, you're probably right. I would say maybe a 85% chance that you're right, which, you know, is overwhelming. If they say it's an 85% chance of rain, you wear an umbrella. But it might not.
You don't wear an umbrella.
Well, you carry an umbrella. you wear a raincoat. You carry an umbrella. But, you know what I mean? I needed to cover I needed to be sure. So that's why I bought that other brand. And you know what? Now that I've bought a lot of it, turns out I really
You didn't know, Robin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We just heard that today, Casey. Robin and Jackson are coming. They're coming across the pond. And, well, we just heard today. I'm sorry. I'm receiving texts from my daughter who didn't know that her cousin and her
Second cousin?
second cousin, is that how it is?
I think.
Her cousin and her cousin's son are coming all the way from London to go to Disney World with us. So that's going to be awesome. Let's see. Hey, really like your content. I wanted to ask what camera to buy for macro, insects, and buzz. My budget is up to Z6 II. I currently own an. You know what? For Nikon macro,
Yeah, they're good.
I think a Z50, an FTZ adapter, and a used F mount 105 f2.8 is hard to beat. I mean, it does really, really good. That's exactly what I have. I'm sure, I think they're just about to release a 105 2.8 Z mount macro, which I'm sure will be fantastic, but you might be able to get the F mount cheaper, and it works really, really good. I use, if you look at some of our videos from Gibbs Gardens, not the most recent one, but the one prior to that. Actually, I think I may have used the Z6 with the 105 2.8 macro on that one. But anyway, either one of those. Yeah, the 105 2.8 macro does great F mount. Just make sure if you get any Z series camera to get an FTZ adapter so you can run the older lenses, which are probably going to be cheaper. That new Nikon macro lens is amazing. Only $100 more than the F mount. That's awesome. I'm glad they didn't go completely insane with the pricing like they've done on some things. For example, the 50mm 1.8 being more than double. Of course, it's supposed to be extra super awesome.
I saw
retro
that.
APS-C is dropping by the end of June. Interesting.
Yeah, I saw
Retro. I mean, is it going to be like Is it going to be like a Nikon DF or something? Photography question. More often than not, I have been seeing some people shoot group shots at 1.8 with 4 people, not on the same focal plane. It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't.
No, that doesn't.
I shot. I was at one of my daughter's softball games, and I was using a 2.8 lens. I was using the.
You were using the 24 to 70, weren't you?
I'm pretty sure I was using the 70 to 200 f2.8 GVR2 at that one. And they wanted me to make a photo of the ball team, the whole team, and they were pretty much on the same focal plane, but just to make sure, I popped that baby up to f5.6 to make sure I got everybody sharp. On group shots, I mean, unless you're just and really, like if they're really spread out, you might even need them to be on a curve. A curve. Am I doing that right? To make sure everybody's the same length, the distance from you. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's not right. But yeah, I definitely would suggest. I mean, unless you're just in pitch darkness, stop down. Hello, AVS Pro from Russia. Hello, thanks for joining us. Did I miss anybody's thing?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I have a lens that I can adapt to my new Canon camera and do macro work, but I'd have to manually focus it. And I've gotten so used to how awesome that Nikon autofocus lens is. I did some flower photography today for about an hour and a half, and instead of using a real macro lens, I used the 100 to 500, you know, and shot from 3 feet back at 500 millimeters, and got some pretty cool shots. I haven't started editing those yet. I decided to go live tonight instead, but I think they're going to be pretty cool. You can take the shot, but not everyone's in focus. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
If not everybody's on the same focal plane, 1.8 is not going to work for you, unless you only care about the main subject. You know what I mean? You know, if you don't care about everybody being in focus, then 1.8 will be fine, or 2.8. But if you want everybody to be in focus, stop down to 5.6 or at least at 4. You know, get some depth of field. Well, what you doing? Nothing?
Nothing.
Hard to focus stack a group picture, Ray.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're making a group shot of Madame Tussauds wax statues, then focus stacking might work. But on an actual group of living, breathing human beings, I mean, as you well know, Ray, doing a group photos like herding cats. Nobody listens to the photographer. They're all over the place. Just getting one where everybody's looking at the camera is hard. You know, and then you got to factor in getting everybody in focus. You know, stop down to 5.6. Try to get everybody to look at you and make about 30 in a row and hope and go through them. Make sure you got a good one before you let everybody go. When are we seeing the dog photo shoot? I thought we already showed that, didn't we?
We did.
I'm pretty sure I included pictures when you took pictures of those American bulldogs, those American bullies.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. I haven't done any more since I got that 45 1.8. I would love to do another dog photo shoot.
Yeah, we might have to.
I need some willing dogs.
Yeah, we might have to drag Tubbs out and make some pictures of her. Have to get Casey to help us with that.
Yeah. Yeah, now that I'm not in that walking boot, I might be more...
Be more able.
Yeah.
Able to do that. Thank you. Yeah, we're not trying to sell gear. Although, you know, I did do a video about that JBL speaker, but it was a photography video. Hey, there's Woody Mallory. Hello there. And Lee Hayes. I was lucky enough to get a shot of a hummingbird nest this week. That's awesome.
That's
you know, I've never
cool.
actually seen one. I've never seen a hummingbird nest. I imagine it's pretty small. You know what? We didn't have a photo submission for tonight's live stream, and I don't think we're going to have a photo submission for the next live stream. It's a ton of work getting all those pictures, and it's, you know, of course, it's work for you guys as well. Plus, if you do one with a photo submission, you have to go live on exactly the same day, exactly the same time. And things are busy right now in the summer. I think we're going to start our trivia back up at some point on Thursdays, which
we need to touch base.
Which
with
throws
them.
another monkey wrench. We might go to trivia and take Casey.
Okay.
We might take Casey if she is willing to lay her phone down during the times when you can't look at your phone. Then we might just take Casey to trivia. I don't know for sure. Anybody else have any questions? Anything you want to talk about? What have y'all been making pictures of? For us, it's been birds, birds, birds.
Birds.
A water fountain, birds. People in Knoxville.
I like birds.
Birds. You know, today would have been a good day to do waterfalls, but I just didn't make it out to the waterfalls. But I still, you know, and it's another thing about birds is I can do birds pretty close to the house. Waterfalls, it's going to take me about an hour drive to get to the nearest one. But I can do birds in 10 minutes. I can do birds on the back porch. You know, I can do birds in a lot of places. Plus, you know, really, I've kind of recently... Where are you liking more, the Z50 or Z6 or R6? Well, right now I'm in, as Cuban Rum calls it, I'm in the honeymoon phase with the R6. So right now the R6 is probably my favorite camera, but gosh, that Z50 for the money, you know. I mean, if I had $1,000 to buy my only camera body ever, and then I could spend whatever I wanted to on lenses, it'd be the Z50, you know, and then I could buy all sorts of awesome lenses. But turns out I have more than $1,000 to spend on a camera body, and that opens things up a lot more. Birds, eagles, and osprey. Yep, those are fantastic. And you know what? As much as I like those larger birds to photograph, I really like photographing little bitty birds, and that's why that 800mm lens I bought, even though it's you know, it's cheap and it's an f11, it's a lot of fun. Taking pics of fires, taking pics of realtor. I guess he means he's doing real estate photography. But I've kind of gotten back to my roots. When I first started doing photography, over a decade ago, the two things that I tried to figure out how to photograph first were live music photography and wildlife. It really wasn't until about 3 or 4 years ago that I first started to develop a love for landscape photography. But I really, really like it. But we've done, you know, of course, we did that all the pictures were black and white, where I had way too many beers at the end of the video. That was live music, and then we've got another video doing live music at that same venue. But on the night that we shot there, by the time the music got going, it was dark outside, and so only the horrible lights in that venue, that was the only light we were able to use. So that's why the white balance would have been just a horrible disaster, so we just decided to black and white everything. But when we shot there the next time, we went on a Sunday night. On a Sunday night, they started the music 2 hours earlier, and there was a lot of ambient light coming in through the windows. And so we made color photos. And then, when was it? Was it last Saturday?
No, it's been a little while ago.
I'm talking about when I did the signal.
Oh, the signal? Yeah, that was last Saturday.
Okay, so last Saturday, I was the house photographer at a place called The Signal in Chattanooga, and it's a standing room only sort of venue, and when it's in standing room only mode, it's 1,500 people maximum capacity. They had it a little bit less capacity for the show that I shot because of COVID. And it is... So I was the house photographer, and I got to shoot from inside the pit, you know, in front of the barricade. And because of COVID, they had the barricade way back from the stage. So I shot the whole show using one lens, the 70-200, and I made a video about that, which I'm pretty excited about that coming out because those pictures came out really, really good. So anyway, getting back into birds and live music. How is the R6 focus on little birds with busy backgrounds? Steve, it does really well. Now, if some of the busyness is in the foreground, like it's in front of the bird, then it might struggle a little bit, especially with that 800 f11. Probably a little bit less with the 100 to 500. But if the background is cluttered, it doesn't care. It'll go and put the dot right on that bird's eye, no problem at all. as long as the busyness is not in front of the bird where it might confuse the camera. And what I do, I've got two buttons. I've got one button that does eye detect for animal autofocus, and the other button is single point. So if there is something in the foreground that's making it difficult to focus on the bird, I'll switch to the single point button, and then I've got the screen set up where I can move my thumb on the screen to move that focus point around. So I'll just move the focus point to where I want it, put it on the bird's face or eye, press that second focus button. A lot of people have it backwards. They have the eye detect on the second button, but I like the eye detect so good I put it on my first button and I use the single point on my secondary button. And it works very well. Took a road trip to the Rockies 3 weeks ago. Crazy different scenery than Tennessee. I don't doubt that. I went one time to Arizona and I could not believe. I was like, holy crap, am I on a different planet? So different. But had a great time, totally recommend. It sounds like it would be fun. I would love to go. I'd like to go to the Canadian Rockies sometime.
Yes.
That would be really, really cool. Just learned photography. Christopher says, with taking photos of my daughter and family, it's been a blast, and I've just started incorporating off-camera flash, just constantly learning. That's the best thing about photography. I've been doing it just excessive compulsively for over a decade, and I still learn new stuff all the time. Photography is, it's easy to get into it, but it's not like you're going to master it and be done in a year or two. You can just continue learning new things, and that's one of the things that I like so much about photography. Can you see the battery strength?
Yeah, it's only down 1 bar.
Okay, cool. Because I was watching Chris and Sarah, who are Chattanoogan's, and they were live streaming with their Z6. They were using their Z6 and their 24-70, and their camera died in the middle of their live stream. So I just wanted to check our battery because we're live streaming with a Z6 on a battery. Now Ray, my good buddy Ray, let me borrow this cool thing, which is like an EN-EL15 battery that you can plug into the wall and stick it in your camera. But the Z6 says, nope, can't use it. So it was a great idea because I really enjoy live streaming with the Z6. I think it does really good. I think the picture looks good. And as long as you're using an off-camera microphone, it's okay to use these F-mount lenses that have noisy autofocus. Let's see. Hassan says, not much of a wildlife person myself, but thinking of getting the Sigma 100 to 400 to get into it. Price is good. How much is it, I wonder? I always recommend, and I think it's inexpensive, but opinions may vary. I always recommend Nikon people who are getting into wildlife to get the 200 to 500. It's $1,500 at the absolute max, and probably less.
Probably less right now.
And that lens is dynamite. I know pro photographers who use it. I mean, if you're a Nikon wildlife photographer,
you said $850. Yeah, the 200 to 500 right now is $13.96.
$13.96. It's definitely more, but maybe worth it. Or maybe try out that lens, and if you feel like you are starting to like wildlife photography, you can probably sell it and get the majority of that back. You can sell it to Used Photo Pro is who I recommend. Mike Mitchum showed me or turned me on to them. That's the used camera department of Robert's Camera in.
They're in Indianapolis.
Thank you. I always say the wrong city when I'm. What city did I say they were in? I said Chicago, didn't I?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, they're up there somewhere in one of those states with an I, and they gave me, I thought, a really fair price for my gear. So maybe try out that inexpensive lens.
He's on Panasonic.
Oh, don't have that option yet. I gotcha. I'm sorry. I just assumed you were on Nikon. Because the majority of my viewers are on Nikon. I don't know. Give it a shot. Why not?
Yeah.
Are you looking it up?
I'm looking just to see.
See what's out there. He said it was. I think he said it was Sigma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sigma 100, 400, 5.6 to 6.3. Now, are you on, Hassan? Are you on a Panasonic Micro Four Thirds or APS-C or full frame? Because if you're on Micro Four Thirds, that thing will be a rock star. That'll be an 800 millimeter lens.
Yeah.
On Micro Four Thirds. Wolftick has the 100 to 400 for his Canon and his Nikon. That's awesome. Hello from Edmonton, Canada. Hello there, street biologist. Welcome aboard. Let's see if I missed any. Depends on when it's on sale. I wonder if Wolftick has the. I wonder what 100 to 400. I wonder if he means he's got the Sigma 100 to 400. I bet he does. That's cool. That's a ringing endorsement. See if they make that lens for Nikon and Canon mount, the Sigma 100 to 400.
Okay.
Okay, so Hassan's shooting a Panasonic S5 full frame. I don't know if, I think they've got one that's high resolution, kind of like a Z7, and one that's lower resolution, kind of like a Z6.
Yeah, they've got it for Nikon F mount.
Okay.
And Canon EF.
$699, man, that thing's a bargain. Is it a OS? That's their word for VR.
Yeah.
It's optical
Stabilization.
Looks like a fine lens. What's the filter thread? I bet it's 77.
Yeah, probably so.
You know, a lens always gets bonus points for me if the filter thread is 77.
Let's see.
Go under specs, it'll tell you.
Specs.
67.
67.
No bonus points, but you can still adapt that one. Betty White is coming for you. Sigma, yes. Wolftick has he has it for both Canon and Nikon. How cool is that? That's a pretty ringing endorsement for that lens, Hassan. Wolftick has bought it for 2 different systems, so that is really cool. Street Biologist just got the Nikon Z6 II. Okay, I'm jealous. Planning to get the 200, 500, 5.6. Mostly interested in birds. How easy is the lens?
It's heavy, but it's.
I mean, you got to take this with a grain of salt because I carried for probably 7 or 8 years an 11.5 pound 500 f4, and by comparison to that, the 200 to 500 is easy.
I mean, I can handhold it.
Yeah, and Heather's
I'm
5'2"
I'm
and
very
sweet.
delicate.
I was going to say Ray Soldano, who just commented. I was going to say he has a Z6 II and the 200 to 500, and he's been enjoying that. And Ray wants to get the 120 to 300 2.8 that's compatible with the Z6 II. Ray has I think there's 3 versions of the Sigma, and I think Ray has the second version, which is compatible with his D850, but he has to invest in the 3rd version. Which is I think $3,000 to operate with his Z6 II. Of course, I keep telling Ray he needs to get, because Nikon, and why doesn't everybody have that lens? I mean, come on, surely.
The 200 to 500?
No, the 120 to 300 f2.8.
Oh.
Sigma's got on their 3rd version of it, and Nikon just introduced one. Sony and Canon hadn't figured it out. Everybody should have that. And Woody is loving his 500 phase Fresnel. Is it Fresnel?
Fresnel.
Yeah, it's a guy's name who did lenses for lighthouses. Yeah, my ultra cheap and ultra crappy 800 millimeter Canon lens has a Fresnel element in it. That's one of the ways it's so small and yet.
I think it's Fresnel.
Fresnel. Okay, thank you. Fresnel, 5'5", don't have the strongest arms. Neither do I, and I'm 6'2".
Yeah, no, they're saying for the 200 to 500. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's, if you're going to use it for a long, long time,
get a monopod.
Put a monopod under it, especially if you're doing sports with it, which, by the way, if you're in good light, it's a fine soccer lens, or even football. Once it gets dark, you need something with a 2.8, and that's why Mr. Soldano invests in those 120 to 300 f2.8 lenses. Yeah, exactly, Isaac. You can definitely use that for birds in flight. No problemo. And that the 200 to 500 works great with the Z6, works great with the Z6 II, works great with the D500, works great. Works. Oh yeah, I was saving that for last.
Sorry.
Works fantastic with the Z50. That's my favorite Nikon birding setup right now, especially for people on a budget, is a Z50 and a 200 to 500 because it's awesome. Let's see, Cuban. I've gone full handheld with the 120 to 300. Ray, what's heavier, your 120 to 300?
I think he said that the 120 is, yeah. It's compared to the 120 to 300, the 200 to 500 is a lightweight.
Oh, with the 200 to 500 for soccer, which is that's Ray's main deal. I would probably rather shoot it on a monopod. And I like that on full frame, and then I like my 70 to 200 on an APS-C camera, and I like that handheld. That way I can kind of move around with the action really fast. I've even shot that, my 70 to 200 2.8 VR2 with my D500. I've even kind of been moving down the field and firing with that setup. If you got enough shutter speed, it'll cancel out a lot of those problems. Street Biologist is talking about comparing the 500 PF to the 200 to 500, and the 500 PF is supposed to be rated sharper, I've been told. The 200 to 500 is super sharp in my opinion. They're both f5.6. They're both relatively small, but the 500 PF is smaller, especially at 500 millimeters. One area where I think besides price, that the 200 to 500 probably has an advantage is it's not just a 500.
Bingo.
If like I like to shoot birds, but sometimes at the same time I might want to shoot deer in the same location, like when we're at Harrison Bay State Park, and if you've just got 500 millimeters, you might have more than you need for the deer. But if you can just turn your zoom back, and suddenly you can get the whole deer in the frame, that 200 to 500 is nice. I was with my Canon gear. I've got that 800, which is a prime, and some deer came by, and I had to take it off and put my 100 to 500 on so I could shoot deer properly. The 800 was too much. So I like the convenience of a zoom. The 500 PF though is a more professional. It's a better weather sealed lens. I think it'll last longer and stand up to more abuse than the 200 to 500. But you can buy basically nearly 3 200 to 500s for the price of the 500 phase Fresnel or phase.
I think it's Fresnel.
Thank you. Got to have somebody who can pronounce that guy's last name correctly in the house, and usually the smart one is Heather. Mm-hmm. So we will rely on her for that. Hey, Bass Angler's here. Did I see him a minute ago and forgot to say hi?
I think you did.
5150 Bass Angler.
5150 time.
Let's see what else we got. Cuban Rum's using his 200 to 500 as a dumbbell.
Yep.
Christopher wants to know, Heather, if you're thinking about any of the new S lenses.
No, Heather has encountered a number of unexpected expenses lately, so Heather is not looking for any new toys right now.
Well, the good news is Heather has plenty of Phil's old toys to play with. So,
yeah,
she can use any of my Holy Trinity lenses on her Z50 if she wants to.
We can talk about these.
Oh, you want to tell them?
We can.
I thought you didn't want to.
We can.
You changed your mind.
I mean,
Okay, so
everybody keeps asking why I'm not buying new toys, and this is why I'm not buying new toys.
all right. Well, everybody knows that Heather fell down and broke her foot last July, and then she fell down again this spring and broke her other foot, or severely injured her other foot. It's up for debate whether or not it was broken. But she decided to go to the doctor and say, hey, why the hell am I falling down all the time? And so the doctor sent her to 50 million places to get 50 million tests. My favorite story to tell about all the tests you took is they sent you for an MRI to see if there was any brain issues with your walking.
Oh, yes.
And she gets back from the MRI, and the doctor has called in a prescription for like a Z-Pack or something, because the MRI showed that she had a sinus infection. So that was funny. But anyways, she went to, what'd you get, an EMG?
Mm-hmm.
And what does that stand for?
That's an electromyography, and then also with that I had a nerve conduction study.
Yeah, now if you ask myself and Bass Angler, EMG is a passive electronic pickup that you'll see in really expensive guitars that don't rock nearly as much as a Wolfgang. But she took that test, and it showed what?
It showed that I have a polyneuropathy.
What in the world is a polyneuropathy?
So
does that mean you're married to two dudes?
No, a neuropathy is basically damages to the nerves, and mine is like a peripheral polyneuropathy, meaning that the nerves in my legs are being damaged. The nerves in my legs and probably my arms, they didn't test my arms, are being damaged. Some of them don't work anymore at all, and some of them are starting to not work.
Can you feel this?
Yeah, I can feel him poking me.
She's got some places on her leg that you can't feel, right?
Yeah.
And you're like your calf.
Yeah,
right?
On the back of my calves, there are certain places that I can't feel.
So Heather's been spending lots of money on lots and lots of tests, and today she got the first of these.
Yes, I got these bad boys.
She got this awesome carbon fiber thing, because when she walks, she can't, because of this neuropathy thing, she can't lift her toes as much as you should, and that makes it easier for her to trip, which is why she keeps breaking her foot every 6 months. So this thingamabob, as she's walking, it's really light. It's light. You know what?
You haven't held it yet.
No, because she just got this today, and she's got another one coming, but they didn't have her size in the left foot. But it's carbon fiber. It's light. But because it straps around her calf, it picks up her toe for her while she's walking, which hopefully will keep her off of the floor in the future. So that's why Heather is not buying so much camera gear. Now, I just noticed...
Because this is as expensive as one camera lens. You cannot shoot with it.
Why not? Birdie.
Yeah, it does not shoot birds like I...
No. Well, but you know what it will do? It will allow you to...
walk so that I can shoot birds?
I mean, even if it just keeps you from falling, you know... We're not gonna take Heather hiking the Appalachian Trail, but we can get Heather to some really good places to do bird photography, and I can, you know, anyway.
Yeah.
It just need to not be having a broken foot, right?
Right.
Cool. So I'm going to talk about Hassan's comment. He says the new Z105 sounds like a winner, macro and portraits. Now, I don't know if this is the case with the new Z105 2.8, but the F-mount 105 2.8, if you are a good distance back from your subject, it will shoot at f2.8. But if you're close, like if you want to do a headshot and fill the frame with that 105 2.8, it will not go to 2.8. The closer you are, the smaller or higher number the minimum aperture is. And I would be willing to bet, although I could be mistaken, but I bet that Z-mount 105 2.8 macro is the same way. I bet when you're really close, like this, that the minimum aperture is more like 3.5 or 4. If you get all the way back to where you can get like a full body in the shot, you can do 2.8. But at that point, to get some super bokeh, you really need like 1.8 or 1.4 or 1.2 to bokehify a full body shot. So anyway, take that. You can do portraits with it. You can do portraits with an f4 lens. But take that claim of a great portrait lens with a grain of salt on those macro lenses. That lens is an adequate portrait lens and a rockstar macro lens. That's what it is. Let's see what else we got. Oh man, sorry to hear, but glad you know that was the biggest thing is she was just so relieved when she finally got somebody to tell her why she's had this trouble for basically her entire life. You know, it's great to be able to say, I'm not just clumsy, I've got freaking motor neuropathy. That's why I keep falling down. It's not because I'm clumsy, it's because I've got an actual hereditary problem with my walking stuff. So, anyway, it's all good in the neighborhood. What else we got? What versions of the Nikon? Let's see, who is he talking to? Wolftick says, what versions?
I think he was talking to Ray.
Oh, I think Ray's had a Tamron G1, which he basically wore completely out, or nearly completely out, and now he's just bought a new G2.
Oh, look, Bill.
Bill Fouth. Now, Bill Fouth watched my my RF 70-200 f2.8 unboxing, and he learned about Murphy's camera in Kentucky. And buddy, he sent this some business. He bought. Oh, it still works. Okay, cool, Ray. He bought the 100-500 from them. He bought the RF 70-200 2.8, which is a freaking rock star. And he bought the lens that I want, but I'm probably going to wait till next spring, which is the Bill is the Canon is the new Canon macro lens. Is it a 100 or a 105? It's one of those. But I really want that lens. But I've bought, just a ridiculous amount of camera gear this year, so I shall be waiting until next year to get that lens. And I also want, they've got on their roadmap, right now they have a 15, Canon does, RF mount, 15-35, 2.8. And I really don't need 2.8 for ultra-wide, he says, as he's currently using an ultra-wide lens at f2.8 to make this video. Maybe I should just get the 15-35, but they have on there, it's not like an official roadmap, but Canon Rumors has a roadmap of upcoming RF lenses. Bill Fouth says it's 100 millimeters. Okay, thanks Bill. But they are showing, because I'm thinking an f4 would be fine, but they're showing a 14-35 f4 on the roadmap. And I'm thinking that would be very cool.
Very cool.
Very nice. How much?
Very nice.
You like it? Yep. And of course, I'm the hey Joe, what's happening? Welcome. And let's see, who else have I not said hi to? Brandon. He says micro lenses tend to work like that. Indeed. Welcome, Brandon. Welcome, Steve, if I forgot to say welcome.
Oh, that's kind of lame. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just. Are you talking about this comment right here?
Yeah, that's kind of how it works, though.
Yeah. And I'm not sure, but I think my Tokina 100 millimeter f2.8 is the same way, and it will allow you to do crazy things. Like if you are shooting, if you pump that thing up to f22 and get to the minimum focus distance in macro mode on that Tamron 100 millimeter 2.8 macro, it'll give you f64.
The Tokina? You said
Did
Tamron.
Yes, I meant Tokina. Yeah. Thanks, Brandon. We really appreciate that. We appreciate your continued support, even though the driver of the bus went out and bought a bunch of Canon gear.
He's a good bus driver.
I'm in so much trouble. I had a guy tell me to go to HE double hockey sticks. Another one told me, what did he tell me?
He told you
Told me
that you were full of it.
I was full of it. Why, yes.
One of them called you Chelsea Northrup.
Oh, yeah, somebody called me Chelsea. Okay. All right, let's see. I put my name in for a Z105, but we'll see what happens. Good luck, Joe. I hope you get it. I can't imagine it being anything but awesome.
Murphy's Camera needs to give you a commission. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay. TJ ordered from Murphy. You know, they're awesome. There's only two camera stores that I know of. I'm sure there's more, but there's two that I know of that don't currently charge sales tax for Tennessee residents, and those are as follows: Murphy's Camera in Kentucky and Allen's Camera in Pennsylvania, where Jared Poland used to work.
Mm-hmm.
Joe is loving his Z7 too, and who could blame him?
And the other one is Murphy's Camera.
Did I say Murphy's?
No, you didn't. You said the one was Allen's, and you didn't say.
I didn't say Murphy's Camera in Kentucky.
I might have missed it. I might have zoned out.
She zones out all the time.
I don't know.
Usually I have to tell her stuff 3 or 4 times before she realizes it's worth listening to.
Sorry.
It's okay. I don't listen to you ever.
I do need the grade assignments. It's not, though.
Okay. All right. Well, Heather is going to do some assignment grading, and I'm going to, I guess, get back to work on some photos. I should bring one up one that I've finished. If I can figure out how to do that. Where did I put it? I went today to a place where I go all the time, Volkswagen Wetlands and the Equestrian Trail, which is right next to Volkswagen Wetlands. And I took my new speaker, my new JBL Flip 5 speaker, and I got a bird that I've only photographed really about once previously.
It's a good picture.
I'm gonna scoot it over here and full screen it. This is a yellow-breasted chat photograph that I made today. So this will be in an upcoming video. Let's see, left display, transition. So there's my yellow-breasted chat photo from today. And you know, I played its call from the Autobahn app on my phone through Bluetooth to the little JBL speaker. And it flew over, and I made a few quick shots, and then, you know, after 2 or 3 minutes, I quit. So I didn't bother that poor, beautiful bird too much. But today was only the second day that I've ever photographed a yellow-breasted chat, and this is by far my best yellow-breasted chat picture.
That's a cute bird.
Yeah, it's a good-looking bird, and it's also kind of cool that it's got a mouthful of food. I guess, you know,
it might have a nest.
Yeah, it's probably taking food to its babies, and I'm playing another male yellow-breasted chat sound, and it's coming over to say, "Hey, man, get the hell away from my nest." That's why. That's the ethical thing. That's why you don't want to do that too awful long, because you'll stress the bird out. So I did it for 2 or 3 minutes, got my shot, and got the hell out of there, and let that bird get back to being an awesome little bird that it is.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, this has been a cool little impromptu live stream. It's really nice of so many people to stop in. It looks like we got about 31 people currently watching, and that is not bad for us. People are saying, KEH no sales tax in Tennessee. Did not know that, Lee. That's very good to know. Thank you. Ray says, I'm finally about to throw my watermark on all the shots from the circus arts. You've been working on those things forever now. Yeah, Ray usually, like, he can shoot a soccer game, and I don't know how many pictures he shoots at a soccer game, but I got to think at least 1,000, and probably double that. And he's done with them that night. He's been working on these.
The circus.
From Kayla's circus thing for 4 days. Welcome to my world. Welcome to being slow. Beautiful bird. Let's see what else we missed. Murphy's in Kentucky. I'm a fan. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for joining us. Ocean says hi. Hello to the ocean. That's cool. All right, so you've got soccer photos are in JPEG. Yeah, and you know what, Ray? Shoot them raw, man. Edit them things. You can do it.
Yeah.
He don't need to. He doesn't need to.
That's true.
He nails them so good in JPEG. You don't need to shoot RAW. But I like to shoot RAW. So what are you gonna do? Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're just about at the hour mark, and that's about right for a live stream. As my buddy David Sailors would say, get your camera out and take a picture. And my friend from down under, Adrian Alford, would say, never stop creating. And as I would say, thanks for watching. Hit thumbs up if you like the content. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see some more. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.